Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports Studio. Chock full of 5-star reviews they are at Impact Power Sports. Thank you so much for that. If you give all of the sponsors 5-star reviews, that's a fun way to help things out with them, with me. Impact Power Sports, online at impactpowersportsmi.com. They are in Rockford, Michigan. If you want a Yamaha golf cart, they've got your thing. How about an ATV, UTV, e-bike, motorcycle, snowmobile? They have everything at Impact Power Sports, including a terrific service department in case you need any assistance with your existing gear or whatnot. God, I look tired and disgusting today. I am. Thing is, I feel pretty good, but I'm looking at my face. And by the way, I read something recently that, remember I talked about how as you age, there are patches of time where you will really age, like dramatically. I was reading about that, and I think age, I forgot what it was. It was a couple of, like 44 and 60 are when, like, if you see somebody when you're like 42 and a half or 43 years old, and you're like, okay, I'll see you later. And they go, all right, great. And then the next time you see them, you're 45. They go, holy fuck, what happened to you? Oh, my God. I sometimes feel that way. There was a video that I posted recently that got a little bit of attention of me doing my thing here. And some folks who saw it are people that don't see me on a regular basis. And a lot of the comments were, Jesus, he looks like fuck. Look how old he is. I'm like, oh, fuck, shit. Tell you what, I don't feel old. I feel great. I went out for a run about 4 days ago, and I've gotten to a point where I am able to run nonstop now, and I vary it up where, I'll go at a pretty decent pace, and then I'll back it off to recover, and then increase it a little more so that I'm going throughout, and I don't have to walk anymore. So I'm like, all right, great, that's cool. It's a little victory. Get it in shape. And then the other day I get like a wild hair, and the distance I was running was 3 miles. So I get the first 2 done. I go, let's see how fast we can get this 3rd mile done in. And so then I take off. Now, for me, taking off is not exactly taking off compared to, I'm always comparing myself to what I used to be, which is not exactly the best thing to do for your brain. But I was able to get the mile done in 9 minutes and 16 seconds. And I felt good about that. So I sent it off to my pal, Chris D, Man Bun Chris. And he's like, great job, great job. And then, I took a day off. And then yesterday was my time to run again. And I was looking forward to this. Like, all right, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to get after that fucking mile, and I'm going to shatter 9 minutes and 16 seconds. And I did. I did it in 8 minutes and 53 seconds. So that's 23 seconds faster. And I go, oh, cool. And I woke up today, and my left ass cheek feels like I got shot, or like I went to a Walmart and somebody stabbed me in the ass. But I don't think it's anything too dramatic. I just need to lay off of it, which I've wanted to do since I decided to get back after running. Is take a day off immediately after running. Let myself recover. So I have this arthritis diagnosis, osteoarthritis, and but it has just been killing me for the longest time. And just like suddenly I have to stop running. Well, getting back after it, so far so good. I haven't had any real issues with my knees at all. And I feel all right. I'll take it. So then Chris, right away, he fires off a text encouraging me to participate in the 10K Run Through the Rapids race, which is, I believe that's at about the same time that the Grand Rapids Marathon happens in October. And I'm like, boy, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that just yet. If I'm going to do anything, all right, I am going to go ahead and do a 5K before I do a 10K. I don't know if I want to start getting any more than that. The old Rome wasn't built in a day type of thing. And then Chris, he says that's actually October 19th. Or have you thought about another leg of the great food giveaway? We could do our own 5K and money goes to a charity that we all decide to give it to. No, I like that idea. I really do. Go for it. Go ahead. Whip that up and I'll be there. I kind of am reluctant to pull the trigger on anything these days. Anything that requires more time than I'm already putting into what I do on a daily basis. I'm actually trying to trim the fat and not do as much. So this year, we are not doing the great food giveaway. I'm totally kidding. I can't even get behind that joke. Megan says 10K is a sweet spot. At some point, perhaps. Yeah, I kind of feel like anything more than that, I'm rolling the dice on some type of extended injury. Today was another take Pooh Bear to the doctor day. I was able to voice track, that is, Q100. And Pooh Bear had the other eye operated on for the cataract procedure. The first one went off without a hitch 1 week ago. And then you do the other eye a week later. So everything's going as planned. Repeat performance. I'm in the waiting room reading the Heroin Diaries. Pause on the one story. Now switching over to another story. The Heroin Diaries, I probably have about another 80 pages left in it. This just goes to show you the way my brain operates. I heard from Mike Q in Massachusetts, who is he's in the book club, but he's getting caught up on that book. No pressure on book club. You read or you don't, whatever. People dip in and out all the damn time. Next Monday will be a book club Patreon show. We will wrap up the Heroin Diaries. I had no recollection that we interviewed Nikki Sixx to discuss this book years ago. None. It kind of popped into my brain. I wonder, and the way it goes in my head is I wonder if when this book came out, we had a chance to talk to Nikki Sixx. And I guess we did. And I would have had no idea had it not been for Mike. And I guess he just stumbled upon that interview and he's going to send it along. I don't know if I can work up the energy to listen to it. But for book club members, once I get that interview, I'll post it. And it might be a good counterpart to the reading of this book, which right now I'm at a part in this book when Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee, I'm stealing some thunder from book club, they go to a radio station. And the guy on the air is going to interview them. And he's a young broadcaster. And the key point is, off the air, Nikki says, "You ever done cocaine?" The guy goes, "No." He's 20. He goes, "Well, today you're starting." And they get him fucked up. First, they gave him a bottle of Jack Daniels and made him chug it. And he drank like half the bottle of Jack Daniels. And then, dude was fucking sloppy drunk quickly. So they go, "All right, now you're doing coke." And they made the guy do cocaine. And I haven't gotten far enough because Pooh Bear, it was time for her to leave the eye clinic. I haven't gotten far enough, but I don't know ultimately what happened to dude. I'll get to that point in the story coming up when I pick it up again. Maureen says, "Is this broadcaster you speak of you No, I probably would have remembered that. I don't think I could, like I said, I couldn't have told you. In fact, I talked to Nikki Sixx twice over the years. And the first time I talked to him, I did it as the dude and embarrassed the shit out of him. And I don't recall how it went, and I don't have that audio. But I interviewed Nikki Sixx, and he got pissed off and hung up. And at the time on GRD, there was a chick on the air there named Susie Cole. And we used to call her Susie Hole because she kind of was one. And she is the biggest, I don't even know if she's alive or dead now. She was the biggest Motley Crue fan on the planet. And when she heard that we used the dude to interview Nikki, oh my God, this chick was pissed off. I remember that Susie Cole got banned from the venue, The Intersection. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but she stumbled into there at one night and was pissed off about something. It might have been boy-related. And she had a meltdown in front of everybody at the venue, and they tried to get rid of her, and she was biting people. Like there was an assault by biting. Allegedly. She ended up going over to the Riff years later. She was one of those people who graduated to the next level somehow despite her behavior. But that's all I remember. I do not recall. In my brain, I'm thinking I interviewed Vince Neil some time ago, but I don't. It's very hazy to me. Very, very hazy. I remember Lars Ulrich, however the fuck you say it, from Metallica more than once when I was on Z93. And it would always be, I'd pick up the phone, the hotline, Z93. Yo, Eric, it's Lars. Yo, hey, I'm here to talk about the album. Yo, it's Lars. Hey. Weirdo accent. So Nikki and Tommy get this guy drunk. And then they do all sorts of other crazy shit, which we'll end up discussing on Book Club a week from yesterday. Surgery gets done. This only takes like 40 minutes. They get rid of the old foggy cataract lens, throw it in the garbage, put a new lens in, boom, good to go. Which, again, until last week, I had no idea that that's how they deal with this. Side note, in the chat, nobody likes Lars. Bob says Lars is a tool. Chris says Lars can suck shit through a garden hose. I don't know what that guy did. He seemed nice enough to me. Why does everybody hate him? Pooh Bear wanders out of the doctor's office after the procedure. And she's got the old folks' glasses on. Get her in the car, and off she goes. This time around, something has happened. Last time she had this surgery a week ago, she didn't feel like any discomfort. Today, discomfort. She's complaining about it while we're driving. I'm like, okay, all right. And then midway home, I noticed that she's quiet. I think she's fallen asleep. Now, the doc said to me, all right, you got to go home. You got to give her something to eat and then let her rest. I go, sounds great. She's resting right now. She didn't want anything to eat. But she's there, and she's got the glasses on, and she's in the passenger seat. It's her left eye. And she touches, like, the lens of the sunglasses. She's touching the sunglasses, indicating she's talking about her left eye. She goes, is this the one that they operated on? Is this eye closed? And I go, well, it's got a plastic shield over it, Pooh Bear, and there's tape on it. I don't know if it's closed. I can't see. So I realize she's fucked up. She doesn't even know if that eye is open or closed. So I don't know if when they were putting the medicine into her veins through the IV, did they give her like an an extra squirt or something like that, but she is definitely more incapacitated this time around. I lead her upstairs, get her in the bed, tuck her in, and then, okay, and I have to do this show. So I gather the puppy dogs, and typically, now two of them are in here with me now, and that's by design. O'Neill and Bruce. Bruce is over there. O'Neill's at my feet. All three were on the bed with her, and then all of a sudden I hear her screaming at Darla. Darla is humping O'Neill. I'm like, holy fuck. And this is a regular thing. So then I go, all right, you two come with me. So they're in here. She's with her, and all is now good. She is now resting. Thank God. Megan says Diana's so lucky she's going to take a good nap. JK, not lucky. Did you feel bad about that joke? That isn't even a joke. You just said she's going to take a good nap. Is this a Megan, oh my God, I'm having anxiety moment? Side note, I just uncovered a document that I need to share with you. And it just popped into my brain. Megan writes, I know, but she didn't know if her eye was open, so then I felt bad. No anxiety. Quit feeling bad. Okay, they're jokes. You're so silly. You're the silliest person alive. Bob in the chat says, only good thing about Lars is the Jim Brewer night out with Lars story. I don't know that one. I'll have to check it out. Lars was the man behind us getting Napster shut down and screwing us out of free music while screwing him on his music royalties. That's why we're supposed to hate him? Because people were taking their music for free and they weren't happy about it? Jeremy writes, Jason Newstead is from Battle Creek, Michigan. I used to deliver home heating fuel to his parents. Maureen-style fun fact for you. Maureen's fun facts could be a whole segment, frankly. I forgot where I was. What was I talking about? Oh, so I uncovered this document from when I was 47. This was when my ADHD diagnosis was revealed by Raymond, the shrink. Went to see Raymond the shrink, and I used to tell him shit. You know, I don't really go to what do you call it? Counseling or therapy anymore because it's fucking stupid to go there. I talked about this the other day. Go to therapy when you have something to talk about. All right? If you're fucking fine, don't go, idiot. I haven't gone in years. Now, if I felt like shit, I'd go there and talk to somebody. Raymond says to me, I'm going to test you for ADHD. And I go, how come? He goes, well, I'm just interested. I go, all right, if you want. I go, what does it mean if it comes back that I am? He goes, we'll see. So I have this document of his assessment, and it's interesting when he talks about my brain. Becca Shea says everybody needs therapy. I cannot agree with that. That's a blanket statement. Not everybody needs therapy. Some people. The way who wears he says sharing stories of your show start the program. Opinion is if that ads once school, I will try and call in and share some old satellite installer stories I have from back in the day. Okay. It says, I met some fucked up people, and I was in some messed up locations doing that job over the years. Continue the great work, Eric. Hopefully more listeners will start to join in. I'm going to get some sleep before my kids wake me up in 5 hours. Take care, Chris. Chris was the one with the roast jokes that I shared with you on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast the other day. Alan is here. Let's see. Tyler writes this. Spinning wheel of death for anyone else or just me? Tyler says the stream took a shit. Alan says I hate Twitch. All right, is there an update on that? Is it improved for you? Because if it hasn't, then I'll be happy to restart. She says Megan says all is well now. Tyler says, I think Easy could be a therapist, honestly. Bob says, my therapy is trolling and bullying strangers on the internet. Yeah, I don't believe that. Megan says Easy would be a terrible therapist, but Eric Zaitunian would be great. Yeah, I don't know. I think you need kind of like a blend. I tell you what, Bob mentions that class, the podcasting class. I'm starting to get a handle as to how this is going to be mapped out for 16 weeks, but not fully. Like, I got to sit down and actually write, all right, these are the most important things that need to be discussed over 16 weeks. So each week would be something else that we touch on that is important for a person who wants to be involved in podcasting, either creating it, publishing it, producing it, stuff like that. So there's that. Megan says, dude, Chat GPT. Well, the interesting thing about Chat GPT is I don't know the first thing about it. So I would first have to educate myself as to how that works before I decide to utilize it, you know? And I think I would be better off not wasting my time getting up to speed on that and actually writing the thing myself. I like doing that, you know? I kind of am reluctant to dive into utilizing Chat GPT if it does the type of work that, you know, drives my synapses and connects them in my brain when I do it. You know, I think I might be short-circuiting the process. I think it's kind of like Chat GPT is the embodiment of instant feedback that so many people utilize today. Like, for example, nowadays, the idea that you can just go on your phone and you can have somebody to screw in 30 minutes is kind of short-circuiting the process. You know, it's jumping right to step E as opposed to step A. And I think Chat GPT is similar. Everything has to have a process, in my opinion. People under my age, like if anybody is under 55, they're probably wanting to engage in Chat GPT. I can't say that. People Megan's age and younger. Millennials and younger want to utilize Chat GPT because it's easy. I would rather do the work. Donut Dan says, wait, you can get a hookup now in 30 minutes? Oh, yeah. Big time, buddy. Megan says it would just help with a quick outline and sort thoughts out so you can get to the meat and potatoes of the week. Yeah, but let me ask you this. If Chat GPT is sorting things out and I'm doing what Chat GPT is suggesting, wouldn't it be better if I came up with the important order of how things work and addressed them in that order? You know what I mean? Why would I allow AI dictate the direction of the classroom when I want to dictate the direction of the classroom? This is the difference between a millennial and Generation X. Okay? Millennials look for the easy way out. And people that are worth their weight in gold because of their brain power, Generation X and above. Tyler says, if you want a Chat GPT organized show, listen to FBHW. And that stands for the classroom, too. If you want a Chat GPT organized classroom, there you go. Have them do the class. Yeah, I get intimidated sometimes when I see ads that say, if you aren't utilizing Chat GPT, you're a loser. You got to take this crash course on Chat GPT, on AI or whatever the fuck. I'm like, look, I can't even. I think that this is the big crossroads for me. I've embraced most other technologies, but I don't know if I'll ever embrace that. I mean, to some degree, I do. Like, I have a thing that I pay for that when my show gets done, AI goes ahead and pulls 5 or 6 60-second clips of the so-called high points of the show that the AI thinks is a high point of my show, edits it, puts a caption at the bottom of it, and makes it ready for publish. I don't have to lift one finger to do that. It's a time saver. When I watch it, though, I'm like, I think that they're close, but I think it was the 1 minute after that was interesting, not the 1 minute that they're showing me. So then I go ahead and I watch these clips, and they're all right. They're solid enough, I guess, for the time that I put into it, and I pay them like, I don't know, a certain amount a year or a month or something like that. All right, I don't even know how the fuck I got to this point. Can anyone recall the podcast path or schematic or the neural matrix about how we got onto this portion of the show? Can you tell me, like, how it went? Because I oftentimes lose it. Bob says, have Grok do it if you want it extra spicy. Okay, this is all I know about that. Grok is part of X, and I see people consulting it all the time. And it's funny, I think. All right. So Pooh Bear is recovering nicely. She should be fine. I want to get into, I had Theron, Theron, Theron B reached out to me. And he sent me a thirst trap picture of Kelly Cheese. And I think she looks fantastic. I just want to know what's going on in that noggin of hers to want to post that. I titled the show, if you got it, flaunt it, easy on thirst traps. I think she's got it. She is capitalizing on her assets. She has talked many times that she has long, slender, lovely legs. And she has said herself, I have a great ass. Okay. And so she took a picture. It wasn't of her ass, but it was her in kind of a seductive pose wearing a bikini bottom, and that's that. And that's what she's. It's a nice kind of like artsy black and white look to it, and she posted it. And I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I'll show it to you in a second. But I mean, if you have something that is substantial physically, like I can't think of anything that I have that is worth looking at and saying, wow, that looks great on my persona in any way, shape, or form, except for maybe my lovely, luscious hair. Okay? I think that's okay, but I don't know why, but for some reason, when it comes to this one, I kind of winced a little. And I'm not sure why I did. I think she looks great. At least what she wanted to accentuate in the pic, which was, I'm guessing she was more interested in showing off from the waist down. I think she could have been like a top-level athlete because she looks powerful in the photograph. Yeah, she definitely does. That's a strong pick. Chris says, your nose. That's a great point. My nose is perfect. Tyler says this is a, how do I say, boudoir? A boudoir pick? That's Kelly there, and she took that pick, and okay, all right. Has that serious look on her face. Fantastic. But I'm just wondering what's going on in the noggin. Is it like, hey, I feel pretty and I want to show myself off? And that is okay. I don't have a problem with any of that. I don't have a problem with any of this, frankly. Hang on a second. I got a phone call. Hello? Talk if you're gay. Hello? I've been getting a lot of those lately. Clown of Carnage says, if I had the looks, I would try to capitalize that as much as possible. Becca Shea says, my profile pic on my Instagram is of me in a bikini. Granted, I am only 3. Yeah, I don't know if that qualifies. Megan says her mirror is clean. A lot of times the mirror has shit all over it. Tyler says she's an 8 out of 10, but when she opens her mouth, she drops to a 4 out of 10. Becca Shea says, God, I wish I had her body. Ugh. Yeah, and the thing about her is she looks that excellent despite no exercise, and she's constantly ingesting cannabis, which I don't know how much that helps or hurts you. I would think that it actually could affect your physical well-being. Maureen makes the comment, she has a great body, but horsey face / teeth. You know, Maureen, I don't think we needed that comment. I'm trying to keep it positive here. Donut Dan says, does she smoke cigarettes? No, but she's talked many, many times about how she loves to smoke cannabis, smoke pot, like all the fucking time. I've had there's been some stories going around about how chronic cannabis use is leading to heart issues, which I don't think that was anything new. But it just seems like now, as more and more people use cannabis, which, by the way, 17% of the population uses cannabis regularly. Comparatively, only 11% of the United States population smokes cigarettes regularly. So more people are ingesting cannabis through the various means than they are cigarettes, which kind of surprised me. Jeremy says, play the Kelly Cheese noise montage and says, I need to jizz. What? Hang on, my source that I play these clips on just barfed. I would have had more. That keeps crashing. Screw it. Anyway. Thank you for not saying I have no room to talk about looks. I wouldn't have said that. Well, first of all, okay, you're like 94 years old. There are no attractive 94-year-old people. So there you go. That's even worse. Sorry, I'm kidding. Murder Lover Linda says you look great for 75. Ben says it ain't the devil's lettuce. Stop your reefer madness BS. Okay, so Ben is suggesting that cannabis use is 100% healthy for you. And I'm a little bit confused on that. I'm pretty sure that is not true. That sounds to me like Ben uses cannabis all the damn time and doesn't like the cold, when I say something that is a cold, hard truth, that cannabis is a disaster for your health. If you smoke cannabis, you're still smoking. All right? That's not great to suck in. I mean, like if I'm sucking in Newport menthols, I'm the first one to tell you that is not a good idea. So you can't look at me in the face and say that smoking cannabis is good for you. It's not. It does a lot negative. Raises your blood pressure, increased risk of cardiovascular disease, damages your lungs with every puff. Don't be stupid. Megan says, do we have stats on smoking crack? She follows it up with, my God, I'm annoying today. I'm taking my own keyboard away for 5 minutes. All right. So there you go. Kelly's thirst trap. I'm not sure, again, what goes on inside of her brain. What is she? Now, I can't see it. She has blocked me so that I can't see, because I was interested, because Linda brought it up last week on the Ben and Eric show that Kelly posted a sexy photo. I was like, well, I got to see it, And I went to look for it, and I'm not allowed to look at it. So Theron must have picked up on that and sent it along to me. I think that is a good boost mentally if you look great, all right? But what you run the risk of is that, and she does. I think she does look great. I think that somebody might, say something terrible. And she is a fragile little sunflower. So if somebody says something terrible because they want to tear you down, now I would never dream of that. I would never dream of saying anything to hurt anyone's feelings. Never. The only people I have ever annihilated have been people who deserve it. Bruce is just making a hell of a lot of noise there. Sorry. But I think you run a risk of people being mean to you when you post that, because a lot of times people get jealous or whatnot. Bruce. Tyler says also being high makes you some amount more stupid while high, coming from a guy who has used it. Ben says that cannabis usage, when you eat it, it doesn't harm you. No, it does. It still affects those systems that I talked about, your cardiovascular health and your blood pressure. So, it's cool. If you want to do that, I mean, everybody's got a vice. You get me in front of a pack of Newpos, And there's going to be some menthol cigarettes burning. I'll tell you that right now. But don't come in here and suggest that it's clean living. Dan says, exactly, easy. People get so jealous when I post pics of me like that in a thong. Yes. Alan, Linda says, I didn't say it was sexy. I called it a thirst trap. Well, isn't that the same thing? Isn't a thirst trap kind of a different way of saying it's a sexy photo? Well, it is a sexy photo. Who gives a shit? A lot of people would look at her and say, yeah, she looks awesome. No one in this chat who looked at that picture, if they're being honest, would look at that and say she looks like shit. I think she looks great, and anyone who thinks otherwise is a moron. Alan says she posts pictures of her ass and of ones like this, then complains about creeps messaging her. Yeah, I don't know if one should be. I mean, I don't think that means that it's okay to, like, okay, if Kelly shows a picture of her ass and then someone sends a nasty message saying, oh, yeah, you want it or something like that, I don't know if I can't agree with that. I would complain too. I mean, not me, Eric Zane, but if I was a chick and I posted a hot picture of myself and then someone said, yeah, I want to put my dick in your butt, yeah, I'd have a problem with that. Chris K says it's okay. She'll just go to therapy. Badger says someone should AI Mr. 10 and Kelly Cheese together. I mean, I've posted pictures of me during the Mr. 10 contest. It's a little embarrassing. I will say that. If I see those pictures, I'm embarrassed. Just for me. Now, not everybody feels that way. But I'll be totally honest with you. If I somehow got my act together and was totally jacked at 55 years old, you better believe you're going to see it. Hell yes, you're going to see it. And if some chick or dude says they want to lick my asshole after seeing those pics, I'm like, yes, I love that. That is all good. You never know, though. If you send that, the asshole licking comment, not everybody would receive that the same way. I would receive it positively. Nothing I would like more than a bunch of guys and chicks saying your asshole needs to be licked because you look so good. That, to me, is the fruits of my labor. If I have put in the time to look that good and someone says something that personal, I take that as a massive compliment. You have driven that person crazy by how good you look. Easy thirst trap. Random people want to lick my asshole. That means I've driven them insane with my succulence. That is a massive compliment. Just from my point of view. Not everybody feels the same way, but let me tell you something right now. Let's get out in front of this. If I happen to one day look great and you audience members, my audience members /chat /pals say, easy, I can't control myself, I need your asshole in my mouth. Huge compliment. Thank you. All right. But that's not the same for everybody. Alan. Bob says those segment 18 freaks probably destroyed their screens with those pics. It would not surprise me. Kelly's picture, those neckbeards probably did whip out their dongs. That is a whip out your dong type of sexiness, without a doubt. Not for me. She doesn't do it for me, but I could see where someone would. Maureen says something horrible. She said she doesn't want to post a headshot. Good thing this pic was from a distance. LOL. My God. Devastating. I can't believe you wrote that. Yoda World says, I don't think anything that messes with the way you are normally is great long term. Yoda World is talking about substance abuse. Bob says her face and voice are her best qualities. There you go. Jeremy says, slow down. We haven't seen her tootsies yet. David says the voice cancels out the looks. And then Maureen accuses Bob of being sarcastic, and he says, actually, I'm not. I love her voice. She'd be perfect if she'd put on a couple pounds, though. Too skinny. Becca Shea says, that is so gross. I don't know what you're referring to. Are you talking about asshole consumption? Alan says, this just proves our point. Maureen and Linda hate women. So just to review, the picture itself is outstanding, in my opinion. She's right. She has absolutely outstanding. She has an absolutely outstanding body, without a doubt. She should not be ashamed of anything. I think she looks great. 9.5 out of 10 in this picture. I have nothing negative to say about it. I question where it's coming from, and are you ready for what you're going to get from it? Because people are assholes. People are assholes. You got to be careful out there. She seems to me like a little bit vulnerable, like sometimes not in the best frame of mind. And I think that this can, when you throw that out there, it can go in any one of several different directions, and it can fuck you up. What she is strong in physically, I think that she might be, well, not the smartest person in the world, and emotionally might be a little bit frazzled. She's been through the ringer. All right. That concludes the thirst trap portion of the Eric Zane Show podcast. I wish I had enough stuff to be able to post a thirst trap. David says, good from the neck down. I don't agree with that at all. She's lovely. Come on now. Okay. Maureen says, I wonder if she photoshopped that pic. Piano Fingerbanger says, hot take, Kelly is more attractive than Maitland and funnier. Definitely funnier. And, yeah, I would say that's possible. Tyler says gallons of segment 18 splooge was shot because of that picture. Chris says personality goes a long way. In my opinion, she has a gross personality. Molly says post a thirst trap, see where it goes. You never know at Eric Zane Live. I don't think I have the right stuff to post a thirst trap. Anything with my shirt off would result in disgust. I would not be comfortable. I would be embarrassed because I look like shit. So I can't do that. I would need full clothing. Have you ever seen those ads for those shirts that make you look not like a piece of shit or less like a piece of shit? Those ads speak to me. They say, hey, do your shirts fit like this? And it like hugs the midsection of the guy, and you can see like a basketball in his belly. Or perhaps they fit like this. And that's like all of my shirts. All of my shirts are not ready for prime time. I have about 8 shirts that look decent, and this is one of them, this Grand Rapids Pitbull Alliance shirt. And then you can order these shirts, and they, like, highlight your best features and cover up your disgusting gut. You have to have seen these. I need to get some of these. I need a whole new wardrobe because my body is so different these days. Tyler with a great comment. Any thirst trap attempt by EZ would go into the Mr. Pop Pop evidence file. Yeah, it's been several days since the suggestion has been made on this show that I am into molesting children. Bob says, I feel sorry for the person who had to help describe that pic to Wombat Pat. Nick says, post a black and white Mr. 10 photo. Boy. I don't know, man. We shall see. Probably not, though. Speaking of blind people, I heard from our pal Saul. We haven't heard from Saul in quite some time. Saul has announced to me that he is an RSVP for the second Easy Pinball Retro Arcade Extravaganza number 2 / Easy Pinball Orgy. Now, Saul is no stranger to stepping out of his comfort zone and doing things that you would expect him to struggle at because of, the fact that he can't see. Saul attended one of our paintball events years ago, and he got the shit shot out of him. And I think he only made it through one round, and then he said, I think I gotta go. But blind Saul is going to be at the Retro Arcade Extravaganza. Rebecca says not to be an asshole, but how does that work for him? That is a great question. I think I've never said to Saul, you can't participate, Saul. Have you heard of the term hand-eye coordination? It isn't hand-ear coordination, Saul. I'm thoroughly confused. Megan asks, how does he even know about it? Well, his ears work. He can listen to all he has to do is say, hey, Siri, listen to the Eric Zane Show podcast. Rebecca says, seriously, the noise is constant. He doesn't like noise. He doesn't? How do you know that? I haven't heard that. Megan says, I thought he quit you. I just assumed because I haven't referred to him in a long time. Last time I talked to Saul was when he was at the hockey game, and he got upset because they blasted the air horn too much, so he left. I'm not sure what's going on. Badger has a great idea. He says, call him. Leave it to you guys to come up with great ideas. Megan says, in his defense, that horn is loud as fuck.
You have reached the cell phone of Solomon Khrushchev. I am not available to take your call right now, so please leave a message, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you, and enjoy your day.
I don't want to leave a message. The reference to deaf, dumb, and blind kid Tommy. Ever heard of Tommy? He's a pinball wizard. Tyler says, all I can hear in my head is Ben's impression of, hey, Eric. Oh, God, I can't do that anymore. I'm getting too old. You know what I'm discovering? I'm discovering that when I do those impressions that have that type of rasp to them, that it hurts my throat. Like when I do an impression of Saul, hey, Eric, I can't go so hard in the paint or else my throat really hurts. Or if I do hey, Eric, that impression of Amanda, that one hurts me too. All right, so getting back to that, the Pinball Orgy number 2, that happens Friday, August 22nd. We will meet at the Corner Bar, 7:30 p.m. in Rockford, Michigan. RSVP on this invite, which is on my Facebook. You don't have Facebook? Leave it in the chat. You don't leave it in the chat? Text me. You don't have my number? Email eric@ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliner Striping inbox. I can't even see who has RSVP'd. Maybe I'm doing this wrong, but. Oh, look. 5 people have responded. Rainbow Flag Jeremy, Saul, Runner Girl Amy, Becky, interested. A lot of people are interested. Etta, I don't know who that is. I recognize her. Kitty, I don't know. Kyle Tomei, I know him. Adam Balboa, Nick Woodall, that is Black Belt Nick. Kyle Osterhaus, that name sounds familiar. Sarah Rookrock Roosh, Rich, no Rich, Joe Spalding, former fat ass Jeremy, Jess here, I don't know. Phil Cronin, and Spruitt. And I guess these people are invited. Should be a good time. Join us August 22nd. That's a Friday night. It'll be so much fun. Jeremy says, I'll try to get the day off, but it's my first week at the new job, so I don't know if I can. Don't do it. Don't even bother. Becca Shea says, I miss your Ashley impression. Oh, my God. Oh, you fucking suck. I love you. Fuck you, Eric Zane. Oh, my God. I fucking hate you so much. I love you. Oh, fuck you. Oh, you're a fucking sick fuck. God, you're so great. I love you. I haven't talked to Ashley in quite some time. I'm sure she's doing good. I think she's really involved in her work. She works at some like fantastic place, and it's like a great workplace as far as I can gather. That's all I know. And she lives in a nice like penthouse apartment in Grand Rapids, and like one floor is apartments, and then the next floor is like the workplace. As Bruce is now officially on his back and staring at us. All right. For those of you that are getting the show on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, side note, before I say another word about departing or kicking you guys out, TikTok, God damn it, I sound like Free Beer. TikTok is so weird because I go live on TikTok and I finish a show. And then after the show, it says you're banned from TikTok. Reapply in 10 days. So then 10 days pass. I reapply. And then it happens again. I don't know what's happening there. I'm relatively new to utilizing that platform. But I'm not sure what is happening. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok, I guess, I'm going to kick you out. The rest of the show is on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Join me every day uninterrupted on Twitch. You can watch the shows on demand if you miss them. If not, the audio is available wherever you download shows, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, rate, review, all that nonsense. Email eric@ericzaneshow.com if you want to say something nasty to me personally. That is the Shoreliner Striping inbox. I have a Patreon. We do a ton of content on Patreon. So you have all the free stuff, which is what this is. And then Patreon is in addition, and it costs you $5 a month for all the audio, $10 a month for the audio, video, live streams. You can try it for 7 days free at patreon.com/Eric Zane. There is a Big Fraud Thursday this week. Who Are These Free Beers? Show number 64 will commence at 6 p.m. on Thursday Eastern Time, followed by the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast shortly thereafter. Patreon is also the home of Big Fraud Book Club, as we are currently finishing up our review of The Heroin Diaries by Nikki Sixx. And then the following book that we have is called Martyr. Nick in Houston, Texas picked this one out. Martyr. Kava Akbar is his name, which sounds a lot like Allah Akbar. The only reason why we are reading this book next is, well, because Nick picked it, but he picked it because Anthony Jeselnik had a list of 10 books that he thought were fantastic in the last year. I guess he reads a lot. And he picked this book out by Kava Akbar, who is, I think, in charge of the literature department at Iowa University of Iowa. He normally writes poetry, but he wrote this novel. One of the New York Times 10 best books of the year. And I think it has something to do with Muslim people. That's about all I can tell you about this book. One of the people that already has read part of it said it's funny. I'll have to take your word for it. Martyr by Kava Akbar. Kava spells his first name, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Kaveh. Kava Akbar. So book club members, order that book. There's even a little preview for it, if you want to check that out. So if you're in book club, you want to read the book and then discuss the book, that's the spirit of book club. You're reading shit that you normally wouldn't read because other people are picking the book. Maureen/Linda picked The Heroin Diaries, and boy, it's a good one. Martyr is book number 2 in book club. After we finish that, I'll draw another name from book club, and then we will have that person pick a book. Nathan R. is now in book club. If you ever think that your name hasn't been drawn in book club, it's because I didn't write it down. Let me know, and then you'll get to pick. I want everybody to be able to pick books in book club. Okay. Anyway, I'm kicking you folks out that are on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, of course. There you go. Off you go. Run away. I haven't